Is this working? Is it on? Is this working? On? Okay, cool. Is this working? Ooh, this is hard to do. I have so many things piled on top. Okay, this should be good. Alright. Okay, cool. What is that echo? Okay, maybe it's me going crazy. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, that's on. Dasher, hey! It's good to see you. I'm glad I could be able to bring back Mental Health Fridays. This will be from now on type deal. How are you doing? It has been a while. Ole! Ole! Alright. Get these on my hands, and we can start. Nice, that's always fun. Really is awesome. Okay. Alright. This down. Okay, cool. Yay, alright, we've got this going now. Alright, welcome back, you guys, to Mental Health Fridays, cooldown stream at the end of the week, where I discuss various mental health topics. Today is going to be about positive thinking and how to rewire your brain to think positively. Yes, it is. Your favorite game. I think they added some new like things to color in here, because there are some things that I have not seen. Okay, so first I'm going to start with my disclaimer as usual. Everything that I talk about is from my experience. I am not in any way a health professional, but I figured that I would talk about like the things that I've learned along the way, because I deal with depression and also borderline personality disorder. So I do have 2 videos on my YouTube that describe those in detail, my experience and things like that. And my gosh, this is so weird. I haven't done this in forever. But yeah, so okay, that's what I was gonna say. I literally forgot. You can never think. I can never remember. So alright, so the first half of this, as usual, I'm gonna do an hour of where I like teach, talk, discuss about the topic, and then afterwards then there'll be an hour of just us chilling and chatting. If anyone has any questions about what I said, or just in general like advice and things like that, then I can help you with that. We will explore together. Alright, this is like way too loud. Alrighty. Oh, I know I was forgetting something. My phone. I have notes, so I can make sure that I say everything I want. Alright, so let us start. Oh wow, I colored this brown. So, today I want to talk about positive thinking and basically like how to be able to rewire your brain to think in a more positive manner. It's something that I've seen a lot of people struggle with, something that I struggled with. So I think it's a really good topic to jump into for today. So, when it comes to negative thoughts, typically They can come from a bunch of different places. It can be from family, it can be from friends, it can be from society. There's just so many different places that you learn to kind of internalize a lot of negative thoughts about yourself and about who you are as a person. It's endless. Usually, a lot of people struggle with negative thoughts. They have very low self-esteem, are very insecure about themselves, maybe their accomplishments. There's a lot of things that can contribute to that. Honestly, for me, it had been like mine started from when I was a kid. Ever since I was younger, I was like very weird and kind of like different from a lot of kids around me. So I got made fun of a lot. I was bullied. Even though I was really nice, I did have friends and stuff, but it was rough growing up. So when I was around about 12, I really started to like feel like an outsider and really started to feel suicidal and just think negatively about myself. That lasted for many years. Yeah. It's one of those things where when it comes to negative thoughts, a lot of people don't realize this, but you actually wire your brain to think that way. And then after a while, it becomes so like normal for you because you're constantly telling yourself all of these negative things. So it becomes a way that your brain processes the world around you, yourself, and it can be very hard to break. And once when you do that, once when you are thinking so negatively to the point to where it becomes your norm, it feels comfortable. It's something that you're not able, like thinking positively feels weird. And there are a lot of times where people, if you ask them to say like something good about themselves, like you're not a failure, or like you're beautiful, or you're talented, they're like, no, I'm not, I suck, I'm a failure. And it's way easier for them to say that than to say one nice thing about themselves. And that is because they have spent years thinking that way. Their brain has literally wired itself to be able to like think negatively. That's your norm. That's what's comfortable for you. And ooh, look at that. We're dealing with colors. They can be distracting, right? So a lot of times this stuff goes on for years, like I had said. So it does rewire your brain, and it becomes easier for you because you've literally made a habit out of thinking negatively. It becomes easier for you to think negative thoughts than to think positively. So mental illness can also be another like reason why you think more negatively than positive. I know for me, depression, I tend to have like an overwhelming amount of negative thoughts. And for a time, like I really struggled with that. It was hard to think like positively in any manner because it was just constant negativity. But with practice over the years, then I learned how to kind of like break that cycle of negativity and be able to start thinking more positively about myself, being able to look on the bright side, whereas before everything was just straight up negative. And it really changed the way I viewed myself, the way I viewed like my situations. Like before it was like if I messed up at something, I always kind of felt like I was a failure, there was no fix, and just kind of like giving up. But when you look on the positive side of things, and even if you like fail at something, you can kind of see it like, oh, you know, I failed at this thing. Like, not that you're a failure completely. It's just like, you know, I messed up on this thing. Everyone fails, that's normal. But it doesn't mean you're a failure. So that was one thing that really helped me a lot. But it took years of undoing like a lot of negative things I had about myself, like a lot of negative thoughts. As far as me, like I was really insecure about my personality for the longest time. It was something that was reinforced by the people around me at that time. Like, it was mainly honestly at church, sadly, sad to say. those kids were like very mean and judgmental. So it really had a huge impact on like how I viewed myself. So I kind of stayed away from everyone and stayed to myself and just kind of hid away for the longest time. Yeah, Dasher. It was not a good time. But with streaming, this actually helped me. Because I use streaming as like a means to kind of like face a lot of things about myself that I wanted to like kind of like break myself from thinking that I needed to hide myself from society and kind of like stay away from people. Like, I knew I was like a good person, like I was nice. I always like was very generous and kind and accepting of other people. So instead of keeping that to myself, I was like, why not start streaming and like kind of like face the fact of like, one, opening up more, two, like just showing who I was instead of trying to hide it so much, and like combating, like I used to hate my voice a lot because it was deeper than what people say is acceptable for me as a woman, girl, whatever. I always hated my voice. I always wanted to have a higher pitched voice. So when I started streaming, I started like just talking in my normal voice to people without changing it. So like slowly but surely I've been tackling like a couple of things at a time that either I told myself were bad about myself, like I was insecure about, or things that I thought I couldn't do. Like I never thought I would be able to stream and like engage with people and be interesting to the point to where people would actually enjoy my content. And yeah, the thing about voices is voices are voices. They don't have a gender. Men can have high-pitched voices, women can have deep voices. There shouldn't be any rules to be like, you can't have this voice. It's a voice. Some people's voices are going to be higher or lower. There isn't a like right voice to have. So I got to the point now to where I love my voice. I love like the depth that it can go to, and then also like the high points of it. So for positive thinking and like trying to get to a point to where you think on the brighter side of things, it usually helps to start out small. Like take one thought, one thing that maybe you hate about yourself, maybe something you want to change about, like say your personality. If you feel that you don't talk much and you want to talk more, instead of feeling that you can't, like start opening up more. Some people won't talk because they feel like they're not important enough and that they just kind of keep to themselves. Like maybe no one will care what I have to say. Like that kind of insecurity. Like just start out small with something. Take it, work on it little by little. If you have a thought like you're a failure, that you suck, you're ugly, you're not talented, you're a waste of existence, take one of those thoughts and just start like reinforcing that you are not those things. So a good example, let me look at what I have here. Affirmations. So like sometimes like for me, when I would think like, let me think, what was one of my biggest ones that I wanted to change? Because I had several over the years. I had a bunch. It definitely took a while. One of my things was that I was worthless and like it wouldn't matter if I was gone, which I think is a big one for a lot of people, because a lot of people tend to feel like it's like their existence gets minimized by other people around them, so they start to, whoa, holy crap, that is so cool. They feel like if they left, no one would care. I started challenging that. I started looking at like just my quirks and what made me me, and instead of like feeling like I had nothing to offer, I was like, well, what can I offer? I knew I had a bunch of things that I could do, but I had always kind of shot myself down because I was a perfectionist. So like, I can sing, I can write, I can be able to engage with people, have fun, make them feel accepted. I'm kind of like a safe space for a lot of people because I accept them as they are and they don't have to feel like they can just be themselves. So that's like one thing about me that was like probably one of my best strengths. I'm generous. I love giving. And it doesn't like I don't have to get anything back. I just enjoy making people happy. It's like there are a lot of like good characteristics about myself that the world would definitely need more of. And it's not even from a cocky standpoint, it's just from a standpoint of like being able to give people those types of things like around you is worth a lot. It's worth more than money because a lot of times people are looking for someone to like love and accept them for who they are, and that's very valuable. So there's one part about me that people have said is like one of the reasons why they like me, and it's also something that like gives me value. Okay, that's never gonna happen. You're always gonna be quiet. I mean, you don't have to be an extrovert or be loud. I'm still quiet pretty much too. I kind of keep to myself, but I've opened up a lot more. I mean, I can sing pretty well. I enjoy cello. I'll say that. See? Everyone has good things about them that... And it doesn't have to be... One of the things is too is that we tend to like have this mentality that like if the whole world doesn't recognize us, then we're not worth anything. When it's really just like worry about the people around you. Like the people around you are like part of your world and you're part of theirs. You don't have to mean something to the entire planet to be worth something. There are plenty of people in your life that rely on you and that love you and that would have a very hard time if you were gone. Like you are worth a lot more than what you realize half the time because we are our worst critics. But it's like focus on the people around you and making a world of difference like in the circle that you're in rather than trying to change the whole world or being like I'm not important because the world doesn't recognize me as say like a famous person or something. Yeah, and you're really good at flute. Have I seen your drawings before? I can't remember if I have. But you are good with like playing flute. Oh my gosh. Violin too, because I remember when you played that before. So awesome. Basically, like with any habit, if you want to think positively, it takes time. It can take years because it's you like rewiring your brain. It took years to form those negative thoughts, so it'll take years to get rid of them in some cases. Some might be a little bit easier to conquer than others. You might be able to get rid of it like say within a week, and then others might take a lot longer because it's deeply rooted in maybe trauma or something that is just very hard for you to accept. So like sometimes when it comes to people and their accomplishments, like people thinking that they're a failure and like not worth anything, those thoughts take a lot longer for people to honestly combat and to get rid of. And at first, sometimes it might even be to the point to where they can't even say that they're not a failure. Like I've seen it to where people like they can't say it. They're like, it's not true. I feel like I am a failure and that's what I am, and I don't think I could ever say that I'm not, because it feels so natural for them to put themselves down because they've been doing it for so many years. So it definitely takes work. It's not an easy overnight type deal, but it's rewarding. And it's good for your health. It's good for you, like, just in general for your life. It'll enrich everything for you. I colored all of these. Alright, let's color them again. I'm gonna do a different color scheme. Fortunately, can't play trumpet anymore because my mouthpiece is stuck. Oh my gosh. I forget. My memory's horrible. I'm sorry. I want to see it though. If you could send it to me, I'd like to see it. You are colored book. Ooh, look at this. This is pretty. Okay, so I'll move on to different ways of basically rewriting the way that you think. I had said affirmations, which is a good one. I know that, like, when I was in therapy, then they had recommended, like, setting a reminder on their phone and, like, say, like, every hour they choose something like, I am valuable, and set that on their phone as a reminder for, like, every hour, and then when that hour is up, when the phone goes off, say it out loud, which can feel very weird and very hard at first, but the more you say it, the easier it becomes. So just, like, take one thought, something you want to change, and then, like, remind yourself, like, say that thing. Or when you feel yourself getting to a point to where you're like, you know what, I'd be better off if I just wasn't here. Remind yourself that you're worth so much, and, like, list your strengths. Everyone has strengths. Everyone has something that is, like, wonderful about themselves that they can share with other people, or, like, everyone just has worth. There's something about you that makes you special and that makes someone happy. And even if it's not other people, because I don't really like living my life solely for other people, in the sense to where it's like I get my worth only from other people. But sometimes reminding yourself of, like, your friends and family, like those closest to you, and what you're able to offer them. And, like, even if people say negative things, people do say positive things too about you. Remembering those things can kind of, like, give you a reason to live. Like, I know one of my reasons to live is my sister. Like, we have fun together. She appreciates, like, how she can come to me with her problems and I don't judge her, and, like, I'll give her advice. We have a lot of fun together. Like, I kind of do, to an extent, live my life, or at least stay here for other people, because I know, like, say my parents and, like, some, like, all of my friends, not some, all of my friends, they care about me, so they mean a lot to me. Like, I wouldn't want to, like, if I ended up killing myself, that would be terrible. They would have to live without me, and then also I have to live without them, because who knows what happens after death. Like, life is already short enough. Another thing I tell myself is life is short enough. This pain and everything else will be temporary anyway. So while I'm here, I'm trying to do the best I can with, like, spreading positivity, love, helping other people around me, and getting to a point to where I can live out, like, my dreams and just have fun while I'm here. Things suck, but then there are also, like, great, wonderful things that happen, like being able to hang out with people, going to the beach, being able to enjoy just, like, the beauty of nature. So there are, like, a lot of wonderful reasons to stay, even if it is hard. And also reminding myself that a lot of the problems I have are temporary. Like, it might be rough right now, but I can get to a point to where those problems are, like, in the past. Even though sometimes it can feel like they're going on forever. Yeah, exactly. You love your friends and your dad and all of your family. I do too. But yeah, like, something like that, because I remember when she moved and you were sad about that. It's like, that's definitely, like, very hard when you have a best friend, someone that you care about, they move far away and they're not accessible to you like they used to be. but you still have a way to communicate with her. Like, the bright side would be like, you guys have like technology. You can be able to text her, you could be able to like still communicate. So even though she's far away, you still have a way to talk to her, so it's not like she's lost forever. It still sucks, but it's like, it's good that you can still be friends and still communicate with her. One of the other things too is like, I know a lot of people try like to completely and totally get rid of like negativity or see it as like the absolute worst thing. There is a thing called toxic positivity, and basically it's to where like, no matter what, you're always thinking positively. There's a balance. Negativity, like, sometimes being honest with yourself in certain ways, like say if you have an abusive streak or like some sort of bad habit, being able to tell yourself like, okay, that's not good, like we need to change this. Ooh, I like that dog. Like, this is not a good part of myself, this is something I need to work on. That's fine. Like, because if you get to a point to where everything is just positive and there's absolutely no negativity, or like there's no room for you to be able to like think critically, maybe stop yourself from doing something, it becomes very toxic. Like, negativity is not all bad. Sometimes you do have to kind of like be critical of yourself in certain ways in order to grow. So there's definitely a balance. Like, you don't want to be so critical of yourself all the time to where you really can't do anything in life because you're constantly shooting yourself down. But at the same time, it's like, you don't want to tell yourself that you're good and you ignore like parts of you that do need to be fixed. Like if you have an anger issue, or if you're like super, super negative all of the time, those things will take a toll on your health. And also if you have friends, then that could also hurt them. But mainly for you, you'll just be miserable. So like, there is a balance. And it's important to find it, because too much of anything really is honestly bad. It does. I love this. Oh, you didn't get a chance to say goodbye. That's fun. You got better at keeping it away from your problems. I'm glad you got better. It can be a slow process, but you're improving, so good job. That's awesome. It's good to hear. Let's see, what other methods do we have? Another thing that helps too, especially with positivity, is like recognizing the small things. Like, sometimes we don't give ourselves pats on the back until we accomplish something huge, and like we kind of disregard the small things. Like, oh, say if you're super depressed and like you got out of bed but you weren't able to do anything else, like that's a huge victory, especially if you're someone who struggles to get out of bed and you're kind of lethargic. That's something to celebrate. Like, you don't have to wait to like tell yourself you did a good job until you accomplish something like monumental. It can just be something small. Like, even if, say, you're quick to get angry and then like you stopped and you thought for a second and you didn't let like one thing bother you, you just kind of like calmed yourself down and moved on. Like, it can be small things, and a lot of times people tend to overlook the small things. So I kind of like say, like, hype yourself up. Like, always, like, for the small things I accomplish, I'm like, yes, I did this. Like, this is awesome. I did such a good job. Like, praise yourself for the small things too. Maybe you didn't get a chance to accomplish like everything you wanted to do in a day, but maybe you got like half the list done. You got something done. Like, celebrate the small things. And when you do that, then like you'll start to feel a lot better just in general about your accomplishments. Because if you only wait to congratulate yourself when you reach like the bigger things, a lot of times it takes time and there's a lot of steps involved. So like if you're only waiting for that, then say if you fail, you're going to feel horrible. And then usually that's when people start with I'm a failure, I'm never going to be good at anything. And like they don't recognize like all the small things they might have accomplished during that time. So that's one of the things I've done more of, is when I accomplish something, even if it's small, like being like, oh, I got this done, or at least I got this done, or whatnot. That has helped a lot. I don't want to make that. Phone turned on. Turn this back on. Oh, and also another good one is to remember past successes. So like, if something's going wrong, like sometimes we all go through like those streaks of like where nothing is working out. Like everything's going wrong, nothing can get done, like everything's falling apart. Sometimes when I feel like all of that's happening, then like I'll think back to like past successes, and that'll help lift your spirits a bit. And sometimes things don't work out. It doesn't necessarily mean that like you failed or that it's never going to get better. Sometimes that's just the way things go. But like remembering your past accomplishments to kind of like help boost your self-confidence, so you don't feel like so out of it, especially when things are just like falling apart. That helps a lot too. Honestly, this is relaxed. It is. Honestly, let me think. Let me see if I have anything else. Also, friends and when nature becomes power, it really does. Friends and therapists can be able to help you, like especially like if you don't really know where to start. But the main thing is, even if you have people around you telling you that you're great, you have to be the one to believe it and start to just like put that positive thinking into practice. Because I don't know if you guys have ever tried to like encourage someone, like say if someone's down about themselves and like you list like a bunch of positive things and you try to encourage them, but they keep shooting it down. Like every single thing you say, they're like, no, I still think I'm a failure because I wasn't able to do this, or I'm never going to be able to accomplish these goals. Like, it doesn't matter how many people around you are talking positively. If you can't believe it, you're not going to be able to like move forward. So like it's a personal journey is basically like what I mean by that. It definitely takes a lot of work. It's not something that is impossible. It can feel that way at first, but just taking it little by little, like small steps at a time, making goals for yourself, like tackling like one main thought that you have that's like very negative and that impacts you, like going after like one at a time and just slowly but surely like building up to the point to where it just becomes natural. You don't have to worry about like constantly feeling miserable. After a while, it's like you have times where you feel bad, but then you're able to kind of like, I don't want to make him think. you're able to move forward. It gets easier and easier, and then it gets to the point to where it's like you might have like a negative thought here and there, but it's not like something that just like dominates your every thought to the point to where there's like no room for positivity. You're just in negativity all the time. Because that honestly it just makes you feel like so like miserable, like sick. It just takes all of the fun and like the brightness out of life if you're constantly in like this pit of just complete negativity all the time. I brighten it up. We like yellow, but I want it to be a little bit more blue. There we go. I'm actually, because usually I do like, this works out. Usually I do like an hour of talking, but for this I figured it would probably be closer to like 30 minutes. So we're gonna actually do like an hour for this stream. So that's like everything that I have to say on it. One thing I do want to say is I kind of didn't have as much time to prepare for this one as I would have liked to. My stream ran over last night, which I didn't get a chance to like do as much as I wanted to, and my brain has been like scattered lately. So I hope that this made sense. I feel like at some points I was just talking like it's just one of those things. I think it's from all the work that I've been doing like full time and then streaming. I hope that that made sense. Oh my gosh. So yeah, we'll open up to questions now and just chat for probably about another 30 minutes, and then I will end the stream. I definitely have more topics in the future that are going to be a little bit more in depth. This one, there wasn't a whole lot to really delve into for me. It was more of something where it was a little bit easier to get to like the main points and just kind of summarize, instead of going into like super like long analogies and things like that. What do you mean by ran over? Wait, when did I say ran over? Oh. Last night when I was on reality, I was only really going to stream for an hour, and I ended up streaming for like almost 3. So it like, because I was going to like stop a little bit earlier, and then I was going to like plan for the stream. But one of my like good friends came back. I hadn't seen her in forever. So we were having so much fun last night. So I ended up like going straight to bed after. I worked 7 to 3. Came home. And then by the time I like ate and everything, I only had like a very limited amount of time. So that's what I mean. I think what I'll do too is also like I'm gonna write in the server like after the stream. I have a mental health server in Discord, so I'll probably after like every mental health stream that I do, like write down basically what I talked about and leave it in the server. So if anything was unclear, it'll be clear because I'm really good at writing. But yeah, that concludes the first part. Hey, how are you? Baby Lily, it's good to see you. Yeah, I think you are too. I think I had it to where like I know I locked it. I might have to like make sure that I add people to it, because it was one of the servers that I asked Lily to make it so that not just anyone could like get into it, because I didn't want just random people being able to just like engage with it like we didn't know them, or like people just like coming around. I just want to make sure that it was like a safer space and like more secure, so it's like people that we know can join, so we know that like it's not going to be some random person who could possibly say something like detrimental or anything like that, because it is like sensitive topic. So I didn't want it to just be like anyone can just come in, especially if people like want to chat on that server and stuff. So just making it a little bit more secure. Yeah, there's a way to where you can be able to make it to where people have to have like an assigned role to that. Yeah, Baby Lele, I did that. This is like when I do the mental health streams, they're a lot more like on lockdown, and that's just to prevent like random people. Like, because I know for a time there was like problems with like bots and stuff on here, so I have a stricter like entrance and stuff like that for these streams just to make it a little bit more secure. I try to make it as much of a safe space as possible, so that way when people are here, it's not like we get disrupted by anyone who's trying to like cause problems or anything. I try to make it as secure and as like safe as possible. And that's the same thing for the Discord server too. Yeah, they can be weird and they can be like very just like people can be very mean. You need that for your server because you're very cautious. Yeah, so that's why I have like I also added the rules before like people comment and stuff, like they're very long, so that's just like extra added measures to make sure that this stays as safe as possible, so that way when people are here they don't have to worry about like random people causing problems. This is a mental health safe space. So yeah, but other than that, like when I'm done with the stream and like I take all the rules down, I take all the verifications off, and then it's just like because I'm just playing regular games. But for this, I decided to start being like doing like a stricter type of entrance. And then it's like the people who actually want to be here, like if people want to come here, then it's like they're serious and they probably want to be here, versus just kind of stumbling across it and being like, oh, this is stupid or something. It's just kind of like, okay, like I don't want to have to deal with like people being possibly like hateful and stuff. That's so pretty. I can make these different colors. I like different colors, make it colorful. Yeah. Exactly, Dasher. That's why I have it a little bit more like secure. I feel like it could get like crazy really fast, and it's like if I'm gonna do streams like this, I feel like I should make sure that I make it like as secure and like, ooh, I like that. I keep saying secure, but like, yeah. Making sure that like it isn't just open to any random person, especially because if people want to like chat or like share things, I don't want it to be like, oh, so that cloud changes color. I just want to make it like as safe as possible, as much of a safe space as I can. The same thing with Discord too, because like I don't know, like because I have my invites on Twitter, I have them on Reality, so like anyone can join, like even people who haven't necessarily talked to me. So I don't want to just have like people's like stuff just like out there like that, especially if people want to share things. Like I want to make sure that like whoever's in that server is like someone that we know is, one, not going to be like that to the point to where they like cause problems, and two, like just to have it a little bit more like private. Bob Ross video, dude. I've seen like some videos on Twitter of him, like a couple of them. That would be relaxing, just to like watch. I like watching people like paint and stuff too. Like that's always like relaxing. Like just watching people do like various art. And since I can't draw, that's why I do this. Like, this is just like a coloring VR. It's perfect for this because, like, the music, well, besides that one that was like really intense, the music tends to be very chill. So, like, it's good to, like, one, there's background music, and then two, it's good to, like, it's easier to talk to. Like, I can be able to color and then discuss stuff easily. Yeah, it is very relaxing. I enjoy this. But I'm thinking about also incorporating Discord into this somehow. So, like, possibly, like, I don't know, like going there after the stream and like having chat in the mental health server. So I'll figure something out because I want to, like, expand on a little bit more because not everyone is on Twitch. So, like, people can also, like, participate in there, but a lot of people are on Discord. So it would be good to, like, include the Discord server on this. And then have, like, a discussion there after the stream. Or at least, like, summarize. Dude, I like making things colorful. Like, look at this. Looks nice. Some of these colors are a bit, like, lighter than what I'm thinking they are. Or maybe it's the way that this is coming up. Yeah. Yes, colorful things are awesome. And obviously the sound to a sound generator. Yeah. Things like that. Like, I have my fan on high, so, like, it's just kind of like that sound of the fan's enough. Because I used to have a noisemaker. But also, like, those things, like, when they have, like, the sound of, like, white noise or, like, crickets or, like, the beach, it's very, very, like, calming. Definitely it's something that's nice to fall asleep to. Magpie. Because you like bright, shiny things. Oh my gosh. Ravens and crows do, like all corvids do. But can you blame them? Like, shiny things, like, I used to like things like sequins, glitter, like holographic, like anything like sparkly or something that reflects light or that's just like super colorful. Absolutely love it. Oh, another point that I wanted to mention too is I know that I said that streaming like helped me and like my self-esteem, but it can also do the exact opposite. Because like I've seen people like, oh wow, I've seen people kind of like be very insecure and then they rely on like the feedback they get from their audience to kind of determine how they feel about their content and themselves, which can be a very slippery slope. So like, for me, it's like, even though streaming has like helped me come out of my shell, I have had some people to where it's kind of like they either don't like my style of streaming on reality because like I'm very like chaotic and I just do whatever I want. And I've had people like come by and kind of like have like a negative reaction to my streams. So although streaming does help, it's also important to have like that sense of confidence in yourself already. because it can become a thing to where it's like I see people trying to cater to like every single person that comes on their stream. If someone doesn't like their style, then like all of a sudden they're downing their entire like streaming career. Like, I'm glad that people like my content, but at the same time, if people don't, then it's like, okay, I'm not for you. Like, I don't take it personally. Like, I'm not like, oh no, I'm a bad streamer. Like, now I have to change everything because I suck. So it can be like, you kind of have to be careful with that. Like, basing your worth, basing your like self-worth off of what other people say when it comes to content or just in general, because not everyone's gonna like you, and that's just the reality of it. There are plenty of people that don't like my streaming style. That's fine, because it's not going to be for everyone. I just focus on the people that do enjoy it, and I'm unapologetically myself anyway, regardless of if like people like it or not. There are plenty of people who do, but it's like, yeah, exactly, like, ignore them. Pretty rocks, yes. Oh my gosh, I do too. I love Corvids in general. They're very smart, and they're really like, I just like them a lot. I like their personalities and like how they are in general. I just got to a point to where I was just like, you know what, like, I don't care what people think. I'm just gonna be unapologetically myself. And of course I work on like my flaws, because there are some things that aren't necessarily good to be unapologetic about. But it's like things like my personality, like being silly and laughing and joking around, and like my quirks. If people don't like it, then they don't like it. I just move on. And then the people who do, it's always nice. But I try not to like get all of my self-worth from streaming, because that can be a slippery slope. Especially if you get too involved in what other people think. Like, it can start driving you crazy, and then you can get even more insecure than what you already are. It's like I have a good balance. I'm glad that I'm able to stream and people, especially on reality, like, enjoy my content. That's nice. But for like the group of people who don't like it, then that's fine. It's like, you're never going to be able to appeal to every single person, and that's fine. Just focus on like the people who do enjoy your content and just become better as you go. Yeah, right. Smart birds are good birds. I love them. Corvids, intelligent. And yeah, there isn't. But I've had like some people like point things out to me, like be like, oh, like, calm down, why are you still laughing? Or like people being like, why are you laughing? And then like basically like whatever happened is like over, and I'm like, dude, because I think it's funny and I'm gonna laugh no matter what. I'm one of those people where I'll just keep laughing no matter what. It doesn't matter if everyone else stops. If I still think something's funny, I'm gonna laugh. I don't have to like wait for other people to laugh or continue laughing in order for me to do that. Like, I just do what I want. I'm not gonna worry about it. But there are some people who are like insecure to the point to where they kind of like, they care about what other people think, like that. I've just gotten to the point to where I don't. Huh, this is very interesting. Yeah, purple and green on the bottom, like primary colors up here. Humorless buzzkills. They are, and a lot of people are projecting, because some people are like insecure themselves about certain things, so then when they see you doing something that they wouldn't be able to do themselves, and like they kind of like are like, oh my gosh, they project like their insecurity that they would feel onto you. And it's like, I'm not gonna let anyone make me feel like weird or bad for like just like goofing around or just like how I am on reality. Because you know exactly what I mean with all the laughing and like screaming and squealing and stuff. Like, that's just how I am. It's like for people that are like that, like the people that I know who are like insecure and stuff like that, I hope like over time through like being on my streams and hanging out with me that like they kind of get to a point too to where they're like relaxed and they can be themselves because they see me doing it, and I'm able to encourage them to like come out of their shell a bit more, or at least to feel like more secure in themselves, like help them feel more positively about who they are instead of feeling like they have to hide it or that they're not good enough because of like their quirks or like any type of insecurities like that. That is my main goal. That's a personal journey, so it doesn't matter how much I encourage people. It's like, it's ultimately going to be up to them if they want to like pursue that for themselves. And sometimes it's rough because like I'll have like friends or people that I see who are just like struggling, and like it doesn't matter what you say, like they basically are just like stuck in their own like negativity, and it's just like, dang, I do my best to help, but you can only do but so much for people. There's a lot of times where people have to kind of take their own, like they have to take the initiative, and you can't force that on anyone. So some people you just see are just kind of like stuck, and like it's sad, but at the same time it's like they have to want it for themselves and they have to work at it. It's a personal thing. It's a journey. Definitely not easy, but it's worth it. Oh, thank you. I seriously appreciate compliments like that. Like, it means so much to me. I'm glad I'm able to do that for you and for some other people too, because they've said like close to the same thing. That's what I want to, because like sometimes with my streams, instead of doing like, I just try to make it like a distraction, like one where I can like relax and have fun, and then also when people join, the same for them. That's why I like all the chaos on reality that I'm able to like make and like be a part of sometimes. It's a good distraction, and like with everything that's going on, sometimes you need like that ability to like just goof off and just play. It's a stress reliever. Like playing and being silly is like a natural way to help relieve tension and stress, and it rejuvenates you. Like I woke up this morning feeling like so happy from last night, like it carried over. A very welcome distraction. Yay! Thank you again for that compliment. So that's what I like to do with like my streams, is just like to kind of like, if people are like, because before I kind of like did streams, I mean like I'll chat with people and stuff, and like if they have problems, there's like a time where it's like sometimes people do need to vent, but I kind of want my streams to be more of like a distraction from that. So if someone's having like a bad day, or if they're feeling depressed and stuff, then it's like they can come by my streams, and then just like we can fool around for like an hour or 2 hours or 3, and just kind of like give them a break from their problems. Because sometimes that helps a little bit more. Like people can vent, that definitely helps, but then them having a distraction for a bit to kind of just get away from their problems is beneficial too. Just kind of like escape from them for a bit, just to get a break. Sometimes that's necessary. Yeah. I think too, one of the things is like adults, like people kind of tend to get rid of like playfulness as they get older, which sucks. Like it's like people are like, oh, that's childish, or like You need to act grown. It's like, no, like playing and stuff like that is a way to relieve stress. I don't ever want to lose like the silliness part. Obviously there's a time to be serious, but like if that's all the time, you're gonna be miserable. And I feel like people like when they're like serious all the time and it's like they can't do anything because that's for kids, then like they just get to a point to where they just start getting miserable. Like it's definitely important to be able to like goof off and be like silly, because it's a natural way to relieve stress. Like play is very important, and people shouldn't stop playing and being silly just because they're an adult. Like that's something that is beneficial at any age. Like coloring is a good stress reliever, and people are like, why are you coloring as an adult? Like, dude, anyone can color. Like, it's relaxing. It's nice to like make art and just like have like the different colors and stuff like that. It's pleasing to the eye, and it's like it's just like a way to de-stress. Or playing video games, because like I was always told I would grow out of that. I am 20, almost 29. Have not grown out of games. I enjoy them. Like, you should be able to do whatever you want. You don't have to, like, grow out of certain things. You shouldn't have to. It shouldn't be a requirement. Like, there are times to be mature, and then there are just, ooh, I like that. There are times to be, like, mature and, like, handle things, but then when I'm off work, then the silliness comes out. Because why not? And that's my way of, like, relaxing. And laughter is also good. That's why like I enjoy the streams where I'm like dying and stuff like that. Cause like it's so much fun. And like I said, that really did make me like I was in a good mood all day because of last night. But yeah, enjoy, embrace, in quotes, childish things. Because honestly, there shouldn't be an age limit for things that you enjoy. If you enjoy coloring, if you enjoy reading fantasy, if you enjoy like playing outside and like doing various activities that would be considered for kids, if that's something that makes you happy, then keep doing it. Don't stop. Yeah, exactly. It does feel good to laugh. It's very healthy for you. That's why I just let myself laugh. And then too, that's like a natural serotonin boost. Like, just enjoying making jokes, fooling around, laughing about different things. I enjoy it. That's why I like streaming on reality, and I don't ever really want to get rid of it or stop. Because it's just like, it's really good. I have so much fun there. So even though like I'm doing Twitch and stuff a little bit more, and then like I'm keeping up with the nightly streaming, even if sometimes the streams have to be a little bit more relaxed, I don't want to stop streaming on there. Yeah, and those are like really nice ways to relieve stress. Healthy ways too. Because I feel like people like, for adults and stuff, they push more unhealthy coping mechanisms like drinking and like gambling. Like there's so many like different ones that like people are like, it's like these things get pushed for adults more so, and they're so unhealthy. I mean, you can enjoy those things in moderation, like it's fun. Like I enjoy drinking myself occasionally, but when that's like your only way to de-stress, then it becomes a problem. And that's kind of what they do, like, or at least how society is for adults. You're stressed, go drink. Like, it's not really a good thing to make like your main way to distress, because it's very, very harmful. every now and then is nice, but that being the main way of dealing with like any issue, it's just not it. Cookie Run. Oh my gosh, I need to play that game. I need to try it. That'll be like another game that I try. Oops, I need to change that. It's fine. Because you like that game. I can't wait to play No Straight Roads again. Which will be probably Sunday. We'll see. Saturday, I'm not really going to be able to do anything because I'm going to pick up my sister and stuff. So I might do things with her. It depends. So Saturday, we'll have to see what happens. But I really like No Straight Roads like a lot so far. I can't wait to like play more and like deal with even more bosses. I like too how they're all different. Like it's not the same thing because like the first DJ guy, then it was like having to deal with like those planets and like smashing those, and then things changed a bit. And then that other girl, like I didn't touch her at all, but like I had to destroy those panels. Like that was cool. So there will be more of that game. And I think I'm going to add Hollow Knight back too. If Kingdom and Oven Break. Nice. I tried puzzle word for Viv, but got bored of it quickly. Yeah. Yes. There will definitely be more. It'll be Sunday. It'll probably be at 2, and I'll probably play for like 3 hours. That's what I want to do is like play until 5. That's what I had for my schedule, so it'll be a longer stream. I'm in for a ride. I hope to see you there. Hopefully it works out to where you were able to join again like last time. That was awesome. Alright, I've colored enough on here. Colored everything so far. So that is going to end this mental health stream this time. Next time I'm going to have a different topic. It's going to be a little bit longer because usually I do 2 hours, but this time it was a little bit shorter, which is fine. But I gotta see if I can find the one sheet that I had. I'll figure out like the next topic because I'm honestly not sure. But we'll do this again. I might try to see if I can find like other games too that I can play while doing like mental health streams. It can't be anything too demanding because then it's just gonna be hard to like talk and like focus. That's why I like this. It's easier to be able to talk and there's like background music, so like it's really nice. But thank you for joining. It's good seeing you, baby Lele, and Dasher was here earlier. Thank you all for joining. I will see you Sunday at 2 p.m. for No Straight Roads again. We're gonna go even further into the crazy world of rock. But thanks for joining this stream. And stay hydrated, take care. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.